Most of us have unwanted feelings from time to time, but if they occur regularly or persistently, it might be worth doing something about them. So do you have unwanted feelings that are making life harder for you? As you would know, our feelings or emotions act as a personal sat-nav, and they guide us and protect us. They steer us away from dangerous situations. They can empower us at times when we need more energy. They can provide an expression for our grief or sorrow over sad events. They can help us rise to a challenge and so on. If we didn't have these, we'd get into all sorts of trouble. There are people who have lost their sense of touch, who unwittingly get burnt when they move too close to things that are hot. Or psychopaths who don't have any feelings of empathy and aren't aware of the pain that they're inflicting on others. So our feelings are to be valued, and it's good to make a conscious practice of monitoring them and attempting to interpret them so that they can guide us. We don't want to push them away, because what we resist persists, and if they're not the sort of feelings we want, if we try to push them away, we actually end up magnifying them. But apart from that, sometimes our feelings can run amok. We might get far too angry about a situation than is appropriate, or we might get more anxious than we need to be. We might even get sadder about an unfortunate event than might normally be expected. So when this happens, it can often be due to the current event firing off emotional triggers from some past event, frequently something that's happened a long time ago, possibly even in childhood. Of course, a child has a very primitive way of interpreting the world around him or her. Imagine shrinking yourself down to the size of a child and reducing your mental capacity to that of a child. And so seemingly minor events can be interpreted as being something of much greater significance than they actually are. Now, if this isn't resolved properly at the time, these unresolved emotions can be stored away in the unconscious mind, only to be triggered by new events that occur in the future. So we talk about unwanted current emotions as being symptoms, with the original triggering event being the root cause. It's quite common to be unable to recall the root cause of an emotional issue. In these trainings and things, I'll often give advice on ways to deal with the symptoms, and they can provide short-term relief, and I hope you find them helpful. But to obtain long-term relief from these symptoms, it's best to let go of the root cause. The problem is the root cause is generally buried in the unconscious mind, out of reach, so it can be very difficult to let it go by yourself. So this sort of problem is best dealt with by working with an experienced therapist or coach who knows how to deal with these sort of issues. With my rapid conversational therapeutic coaching, it's not necessary for the client to dwell on or even remember the original root cause event. And when we're finished, it's not uncommon for the client to not even be able to remember the problem that we were working on. It simply disappeared from their life forever. So if you find that you have any unwanted emotions that are making life difficult for you and you'd like to chat about it, please click on one of the links associated with one of my pages. Thank you.